In the hustle and bustle of the modern world, work and earnings play a central role in our life. Have you ever wondered how Islam views the concept of work and earnings? Join us in our journey to explore the teaching of the Qur'an and Sunnah on this vital aspect of our life. Welcome to our documentary on works and earning in the context of the Qur'an and Sunnah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and welcome. Today we delve into the Islamic perspective on works and earning as guided by the Qur'an and Sunnah. Let us begin by understanding the concept of work in Islam.
In Islam, the concept of work extends beyond being a mere means of earning a livelihood. It is a multifaceted concept that encompasses not only the material aspects of sustenance, but also the spiritual dimension of seeking the pleasure of Allah and fulfilling one's responsibility in the world.
The Qur'an and the Sunnah provide the guidance on the importance of work and earning a living through lawful means. Muslims are encouraged to actively engage in the productive activities and contribute to society.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, asked, "Who is the best among people?" He replied, "The best of you are those who are most beneficial to people." This highlights the Islamic perspective that work is not only about personal gain but also about serving others and making a positive impact in their life. Work, when performed with sincerity and excellence, become an act of worship in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Allah loves that when any of you does something, he does it in the best manner." This hadith emphasizes the importance of performing work with excellence, integrity, and dedication, striving for the highest standards of quality and professionalism.
Moreover, Islam places great emphasis on the ethical aspects of work. Honesty, fairness, and integrity are integral to Islamic teachings regarding employment and business transactions.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified this value in his own conduct as an employer and as a trader. He emphasized the fair treatment of employees, paying them their due wages promptly, and fulfilling contractual obligation. He warned against exploitation and encouraged generosity and kindness towards workers.
Wealth is one of the innumerous blessings of Allah to mankind. Based on the Surah Al-Baqarah verse 215, khair, which means goodness or attraction of the world. What's more, gaining wealth or earning has been given so much importance and obligatory to each Muslim as mentioned by the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Seeking lawful earnings is compulsory for every Muslim. There are 4 importance and recommendations for attaining earnings in Islam. Firstly, its interrelatedness with obtaining earnings, eliminating poverty, and prospering zuhud. Secondly, its urgency in work productivity improvement. Thirdly, for economic consumption. And lastly, aiming to obtain sustainable income for social responsibility blueprint. Economic activities are part and parcel of broader human engagement to attain loftier ends and halal earnings for society's enlightenment and develop zuhud Muslims. Looking at the classical economic tradition and pre-enlightenment Europe, the absence of the importance of earnings leads to higher poverty and economic strata that shows inequitable distribution. Subsequently, Islam enlightens earnings and provisions on individual to acquire and distribute according to moral measures and entails wider social as part of economic behavior. The Qur'an and Sunnah encourage individuals to accumulate earnings for the purposes of maslahah, sadaqah, and giving zakat and wakaf to develop justice and righteous deeds in human expositions. Allow me to quote from Al-Shaybani's book about Sufis who sought to attain a higher level of knowledge via kashaf, faqh, and zuhud, but they also sought to exercise earning in cups, which shows the obligation of earnings in Muslim life. Secondly, Al-Qab's theory contains dynamic aspects that are of importance as deemed urgent in work productivity improvement. It inspires humans to carry out the function of Khalifah as a response to world civilization today. Therefore, working is also part of worship to strive for work productivity to build strong Islamic economic growth as Islamic history has returned. According to the United Nations, work productivity is on average 70% with 70% working hours and 30% leisure hours, which shows the work productivity is on the rise. Higher work productivity shows an economic strive for efficiency and halal earnings for individuals to sustain life. Next, earnings should be for economic consumption and sustainable income for social responsibility. Surah As-Saffat verse 96, Wallahu khalaqakum wa ma ta'malun, which shows the term khalaqakum means Allah creates mankind with ta'malun, desire and abilities to create actions. Thus, individuals are obligated to perform economic activities, earn halal income, be moderate and be responsible for their community and environment. With the power of choices or ikhtiar, attaining sustenance via hard work and striving is encouraged for a sustainable and just life. Abu Yusuf and Ibn Khaldun believe that only through justice surpasses for the development of society take place because justice increases the income of welfare and avoid wastage in spending via infaq. Earnings are the engine and machine of life, and deceitfulness and ignorance of this could cause numerous conflicts and be capable of putting Islamic economic condition at their worst. The Prophet Muhammad SAW insists on the importance of earnings in his farewell sermon. It is unlawful for you to shed the blood of one another or take unlawfully the fortunes of one another. The next question arises: what are the types of earnings? How can we differentiate between halal and haram? Are there any Quranic verses and hadith that outline types of earnings? Let's walk briefly. Legals mean halal in Arabic means that which is permitted. Legal earnings means income earned according to the commandments of Allah and His Prophet, which are legitimate, permissible and unforbidden. As narrated by Ibn Majah, Prophet Muhammad SAW said, "What Allah has permitted in His book is halal and what is haram is haram." There are some features of lawful income in the property tradition that are considered halal but do not contain those 5 elements. Firstly, the fault of the product. Secondly, overpraise the product, sold, deceive and oppress, and lastly, swear to Allah while trading unlawful things. The existence of those 5 elements leads to haram income. In the spectrum of economic globalization, the global unemployment rate stood at 6.9% in the climax of the pandemic during 2020, but it declined to 5.77% in 2022 due to the share of the economically active and reopened again. Thus, it is vital for the government to stimulate policies that reduce societies and businesses' burdens tremendously by strengthening the laws on illegal economic transactions, to displace oppressed society and abide by Islamic rules. It is important to eliminate breach of trust, interest-based transactions and discrimination, uphold halal as a top priority, avoid waste and excessiveness, and practice taqwa as a framework.
Ethics and integrity are integral to al-Qabs. In Islam, Muslims are encouraged to adhere to ethical consideration in their words and deeds. Let us uncover some of these ethical principles.
Ethics and integrity are integral to al-Qabs earning in Islam. Muslims are encouraged to adhere to ethical consideration in their words and deeds. As Islam has emphasized the concept of honesty, integrity and fairness in all aspects of our life. Islam has also encouraged individuals to fulfill their obligation and also maintain transparency in their business transactions. Muslims are urged to refrain from deceptions, fraud or any forms of exploitation in their dealings. Uphold this kind of ethical principle, ensure that our earnings are obtained in a righteous manner. In the Surah An-Nisa, verse 29 mentioned that, "O you who have believed, do not consume one another wealth unjustly, but only in lawful business by mutual consent, and do not kill yourself or one another. Indeed, Allah is to you ever merciful." This verse has highlighted the importance of conducting business transactions with mutual consent, honesty and fairness. Muslims are reminded to avoid any unjust acquisition of wealth or financial gain that may harm others or violate the principle of justice and fairness.
The concept of work in Islamic economy differs significantly from Western economy. Islamic economy places a greater emphasis on social welfare, justice and the overall well-being of the society. Let us explore the significance of this difference.
Islamic economists view work not only as a means of livelihood but as a pathway to spiritual fulfillment. In the Qur'an, Surah Al-Jumu'ah, verse 10, Allah has mentioned that once the prayer is over, disperse throughout the land and seek the bounty of Allah, and remember our offers to you may be successful. This verse has highlighted the integrations of work and worship, encouraging Muslims to approach their labor with devotion and also sincerity. At the heart of Islamic economics lies a deep emphasis on value creations. Work is not just seen as a means to earn a living, but as a way to seek the blessing of Allah and also express gratitude for His provision. Muslims are encouraged to actively engage in productive endeavor, harnessing their talents and resources to generate prosperity. Islamic economics promote a strong sense of social responsibility within works. Prophet Mohamed, peace be upon him, said that the best of people are those who are most beneficial to others. This hadith has emphasized the importance of engaging in productive activities that benefit the society as a whole, fostering a spirit of cooperation and also mutual support. In contrast to Western economy, Islamic economy is embraced a holistic approach to work. It has emphasized the integration of material pursuits with the spiritual well-being, promoting a balanced lifestyle that value not only economic success but also family, community, and also spiritual growth. This harmonious approach nurtures a sense of fulfillment and well-being. The concept of work in Islamic economics goes beyond a mere economic transaction. It carries a spiritual dimension, promotes a social responsibility, upholds ethical conduct, encourages value creation, and also advocates for a balanced approach. Through this principle, Islamic economics aims to create a just and prosperous society that aligns with the teaching of Islam. In Islamic economy, there is strong focus on equitable distribution of wealth and reducing income inequality. This ensures that the benefits of economic activities are also shared among all the members of the society.
Unethical behavior in the workplace has been widely discussed, which not only threatens the organization's reputation but also has a devastating effect on both organizations' ability to render quality and productivity and harms human well-being. According to the Harvard research, 40% of employees reported engaging in unethical behavior in the workplace, and undoubtedly, unethical behavior is on the rise, particularly on the main issues reported globally. This was supported by the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence, which found that most workers experience and express pressure due to the mismanaging unethical behavior in the workplace. Mismanaging unethical behavior includes the act of the rule violation, ignorance of the unhealthy work environment, and sacrificing individual safety and security. The discrimination, oppression, and bullying also include in the work-related outcomes resulted from mismanaging unethical behavior. The United Nations Development Programme revealed that the Global Human Development Index ranked Norway at the top of very high human development and includes 11.76% of the Islamic countries such as Brunei Darussalam, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and many more. The Islamic countries dominated approximately 57.5% of the low-high human development index, which shows a worrisome figure by expanding the effects of the slower pace of economic development. Undoubtedly, ethical considerations are important to improve the quality of the working environment and resulted in higher productivity. Thus, it is vital to address those critical issues that arise from mismanaging unethical behavior to eliminate corruption levels, sexual harassment, and oppression between each other.
In Islam, the distribution of earnings holds great importance. Let us explore how Islam guides the fair distribution of wealth in the society.
Islam places a strong emphasis on social justice and compassion, seeking to create a society where the gap between the rich and the poor is narrowed. At the heart of this vision is the concept of zakat, an obligatory form of charity. Muslims are required to contribute a portion of their earnings, typically 2.5%, to support those in need. Through zakat, wealth has circulates within the community and fostering solidarity and also alleviates poverty. But Islam goes beyond zakat, encouraging Muslims to go the extra mile through voluntary act of charity known as sadaqah. It is beautiful expression of generosity where individuals give from their earnings to uplift the less fortunate and address social disparities and promotes a culture of giving. Sadaqah has become a powerful tool in building a more equitable and compassionate society. Not only that, Islam has also emphasized on fair wages and justice, ensure that workers are treated with dignity and compensated appropriately for their labor. Employers are encouraged to provide fair wages, fostering a harmonious and respectful work environment. Exploitative practices such as withholding or manipulative wage are condemned. These commitments to fair compensation promote a sense of economic justice and empower workers. The principles of wealth distribution in Islam are driven by profound sense of social responsibility, compassion, and also justice. From obligatory act of zakat to voluntary sedekah, fair compensations for workers, and support for the needy, Islam has presented a holistic framework for creating a more equitable and harmonious society.
The economic implications of halal earnings go beyond individual practices. Let's uncover how halal earning promotes ethical consumption and production.
In Islam, ethical business practices are highly emphasized. Muslim entrepreneurs are urged to establish businesses that adhere to principles of honesty, integrity, and fairness. This includes providing quality products and services, treating employees with fairness and respect, and practicing transparency in financial transactions. By upholding these ethical standards, Muslim entrepreneurs contribute to a fair and just economic environment. They play a vital role in building trust and fostering long-term relationships with customers and business partners. This, in turn, leads to a more stable and sustainable business ecosystem. Furthermore, halal earnings promote social responsibility. Muslim business owners are encouraged to actively engage in corporate social responsibility initiatives, such as contributing to charitable causes, supporting local communities, and promoting social welfare. This involvement not only benefits those in need but also fosters a positive image of Islam and Muslims in society. It strengthens the bonds between businesses and the communities they serve, creating a sense of shared responsibility and collective well-being. Islam also encourages Muslim consumers to make conscious purchasing decisions. Muslims are encouraged to consider the ethical implications of the products they buy beyond their halal status. This includes factors such as fair trade practices, environmental sustainability, and the well-being of workers involved in the production process. By supporting ethically produced goods and services, Muslims contribute to the demand for ethical practices in the marketplace. This creates incentive for businesses to prioritize ethical consideration, leading to a more responsible and sustainable economic system. Moreover, the promotion of halal earnings encourages entrepreneurships within the Muslim community. By engaging in lawful and ethical economic activities, Muslims are empowered to establish businesses, create job opportunities, and contribute to economic growth. This not only benefits the individuals involved, but also strengthens the overall economy by fostering innovation, competition, and productivity.
In conclusion, the teachings of the Qur'an and Sunnah provide a comprehensive framework for understanding work and earnings in Islam. By adhering to the principles of halal earnings, ethical conduct, and equitable distribution, Muslims can contribute to a just and prosperous society. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey through the teachings of the Qur'an and Sunnah. May the knowledge gained inspire us to lead a life of purpose, righteousness, and ethical conduct in our works and earnings.